Waves were felt as far as west of Somalia and the African coast. And Paul Gross now joining us to talk us through just the magnitude of this. We're talking about 6 countries affected by this. Can you put it into perspective for us?
Yeah, this is a pretty amazing event when you really think about it. Now, just like we have a Fujita scale to rate tornadoes and the Saffir-Simpson scale for hurricanes, we have a Richter scale which measures the magnitude of an earthquake. So take a look at the Richter scale. Now, obviously, the lower you are, for example, a magnitude 1 to 3, you don't even feel it. And magnitude 3 to 4, it's sometimes felt near the center, but there's really no damage. Now, magnitude 5 is felt widely, but there's slight damage. Magnitude 6, damage to poorly constructed buildings, and here's where it gets serious. Magnitude 7, you'll have serious damage up to 50 to 100 miles away from the center. A magnitude 8 earthquake, that's like the San Francisco earthquake in 1906. That's great destruction over hundreds of miles, and this one was a magnitude 9 quake, the rarest that we have, major damage over 1,000 miles away. And speaking of distances, let me give you some perspective here. There's the United States. We're going to fly across the Atlantic. We're going to fly across Africa, and then the upper right part of Africa, see that little tip there? That's Somalia, okay? And you see Sri Lanka there. Now, there's the earthquake there off the coast of Sumatra. Sri Lanka is 1,000 miles away. And that tsunami made it all the way across to Sri Lanka, and it continued and went all the way across to Somalia there off the east coast of Africa.
Goodness.
That is just absolutely amazing. Now, real quick, let me show you what causes these quakes. We have what are called faults. The crust of the earth, which is what you and I are on, the crust of the earth is sitting on top of these things called plates, okay? You have different types of plates, and the plates have boundaries, and there's tremendous force, and sometimes those boundaries slip real quickly, and that releases a tremendous amount of energy. We have actually an interactive site on our website at clickondetroit.com, and we can show you some of that. We have several different types of faults, and there are many different types. You can go to this yourself on the webpage at clickondetroit.com, and you can see all the different types of faults that causes earthquakes, but basically, this is an amazing amount of energy, and keep in mind on that Richter scale, an increase of 1 is an increase of times 10 in the magnitude of the earthquake. It's a logarithmic scale. So, when you get up to a magnitude 6 versus a magnitude 8, an 8 is 100 times more powerful than a magnitude 6 quake. And now we're talking about a magnitude 9 earthquake.
So it was because of the earthquake that caused this?
It's because of the earthquake that caused that big tsunami, that the big wave that went across the ocean.
Okay.
Now, I do have a question for you. Could there have been better forecasting or better warning system to prevent such a devastating loss of life, or was there just no way to do that at this
Well,
time?
they actually do have a warning system, a tsunami warning system, but we're talking about some developing nations as well out there, so I don't know how effective that warning system was, but certainly folks on the east coast of Africa, they did hear about the tsunami coming, but I think the folks in Sri Lanka did not really get any notice of that, and they were just caught unaware. Tourists were on the beaches.